The 9th annual ITWeb BI Summit's theme was centered around Agile BI, Analytics and Big Data.
My topic this afternoon at the BI Summit 2014 is whether to use mobile application development platforms or do custom code development when you're looking at your BI application.
So I'm going to be talking about dashboards and visualization and really just how to make the data that we've spent so much time and money and energy getting come to life and have an impact for business.
I'm presenting on Agile BI design, particularly looking at business models and how modeling collaboratively with business users can help us design better BI systems.
Big data is a journey. We basically just started and there's a long road to go still, and I think it's important that people see the future of big data as emerging and not as a final state yet.
Well, there's little doubt, I think, that big data technology is here to stay, and most organisations will be looking to exploit it in the sort of course of the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years or whatever. So it's a mainstay of their architecture going forward.
It's often said that organisations are data rich and information poor. So don't just bring in one part of the information, bring in the whole picture. We talk about big data and it's very important, but we have to be able to put context around that. So if as a company you're thinking, okay, we need to get involved in big data, we've got petabytes of data around there, we need to think about doing that, think about the context and think about how you can wrap all kinds of data and not just work in isolation.
Clearly, in order to do it and do it well, you need to learn some lessons, and hopefully lessons from sort of experiences of others, and that's really what I'm hoping to share.
This 2-day track event offered workshops and an adjacent expo showcasing the latest in products and services.
In a mixed audience like the BI Summit, where there are IT folks and business folks in the same audience, my first thought is trying to figure out how do I get these two very different groups of people to work together and to be reading from the same hymn sheet, so that when we look at how do you create new opportunities for the business, to make sure that the IT folks and the business folks are actually working together in a synergistic way.
The attendees should be looking at the value created from business intelligence and spend less time on the technical and the back-end processes involved in producing BI. BI is all about a show me the money moment where the clients would like to know what the return on investment is.
BI is still fun. BI is not just a bunch of reports, it's actually visualizing and intelligizing your information and leaving them with the question of, and then what?
International keynote speakers addressed emerging trends and strategies.
When it comes to implementation of BI strategy, there are a variety of strategies that one can consider. I think one of the key aspects to consider from our perspective is to look at the latent demand in the business. There are many questions today that the business users are not asking, primarily because it's too much of a challenge to get those answers out of IT.
The cockpit has to be left for the pilot, so I would rather want the business to drive business intelligence than as an IT function, because the IT people wouldn't be able to understand the business complexities.
And further to this is that it's not industry specific, but applicable to multiple industries, and that anybody who engages with us will find a lot of benefit in implementing a data analytics center of excellence within their organization.
The key focus for me is to identify the basic business factors driving the trends, to help executives position themselves and understand what's coming and how they should go about optimizing for their particular businesses.
What I hope the delegates will take away from this is to at least start getting curious about how we can change the current as is, where I've got a lot of historical value from my data, into the to be, where I can start using this analytical processes easily to make everyone be able to look into the future using this copious amount of data that I've already got.
While delegates were provided with invaluable networking opportunities and in-depth analysis of local success stories.
If you really wanted to take a couple of things forward for implementing a BI strategy, number one would be to not call it a BI strategy. In fact, what you're really trying to solve is decision support problems to help people make better or at least more effective decisions than they have been making.
So if a company comes to me to ask them to assist helping them creating a BI strategy, I would first need to understand the current state of their BI environment. What I would then do is understand where they would want to go within the company, determine the gap analysis between that, and then make recommendations for them. A strategy is tailor-made for each company because each company has got their own specific needs.
ITWeb's BI Summit, on the frontier of business intelligence.